Let's talk about article number 100. It talks about voting in houses, power of houses to act notwithstanding vacancies and quorum. Let's see what it means. As we see here, it has four clauses. Paragraph 1 of clause 1 says, save as otherwise provided in this constitution, all questions at any sitting of either house or joint sitting of the houses shall be determined by a majority of votes of the members present and voting, other than the speaker or person acting as chairman or speaker. What this means is that any kind of question, like passing a bill or anything like that, in will be determined using majority of votes, and it can be for either house or joint sitting. House means it can be either Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Joint sitting means in some cases both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha sit together and vote for to make a decision. That is only done in some special cases. We will discuss that in other videos. What this basically says is that in any of these cases, whether it's Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha or joint sitting, any decision will be made based on majority of votes present and present and voting. This is different from membership. Let's take the case of Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha has 250 people, and if we want majority of the membership, then it should be 126. This is majority, but this is a majority of membership, but this is not needed. It says only present and voting. This means that, let's say at some time there are only 200 members in Rajya Sabha present and voting. In that case, it's enough if 101 votes are polled for a particular decision. Even then, it is considered as majority of present and voting. That's the difference between total membership and present and voting. Next, and one more thing that needs to be seen here is that the chairman or speaker cannot vote during the first instance. That's what we should remember here. But if you see the second paragraph, it says the chairman or speaker or person acting as such shall not vote in the first instance, but shall have and exercise a casting vote in the case of an equality of votes. That means, let's say 200 people are present in voting, and for any decision 100 came as yes and 100 came as no. So in that case, the chairman of Rajya Sabha has to vote. That's what it says. That's called a casting vote. And now here, one thing we have to see here is, it says otherwise provided in this constitution, because in some cases we need 2/3 of the house, not just majority. But those are special cases, like constitutional amendment bill or something like that. Those will be covered in other videos, but this is the general case. Next, clause 2 says either house of parliament shall have power to act notwithstanding any vacancy in the membership thereof, and any proceedings in the parliament shall be valid notwithstanding that it is discovered subsequently that some person who was not entitled to do sat or voted or otherwise took part in the proceedings. This is pretty clear. What it means is that voting is still valid if there is some vacancy in the house, any of the house, and let's say a person voted and later it was discovered that he was not supposed to sit and vote, or he was supposed to be disqualified or something like that. Even in that case, whatever decision was taken earlier is still valid. Just because there was a fraud of one or two persons sitting does not invalidate the entire bill passing later on. Next, clause 3 says until parliament by law otherwise provides, the quorum to constitute a meeting or of either house of parliament shall be 1/10 of the total number of members of the house. What this means is that, let's say let's take a case of Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is 250 members. This makes the quorum as 25. That means at any sitting of Rajya Sabha there has to be 25 people sitting, or else voting or any kind of proceeding should not be allowed. That's the meaning of quorum. That is 1/10. That's what you should remember. Next, clause 4 says if at any time during a meeting of house if there is no quorum, it shall be the duty of the chairman or speaker or person acting as such either to adjourn the house or suspend the meeting until there is quorum. This is pretty obvious, like until there is a quorum, proceeding cannot happen, and it's the responsibility of the chairman or the speaker to postpone the meeting or do whatever he wishes is thinks is good. That's what it means.